Listen.
The most ignorant about racism are the victims.
Okay.
This is why they haven't overcome it. Black people do not have racism as their priority and wake up every morning thinking about how they're going to get rid of racism. The average black person on the planet wakes up in the morning thinking about what? Well, they may be thinking about a lot of things, but they're not thinking about getting rid of racism. And that's what exactly every black person on this planet should wake up in the morning thinking about and go to bed thinking about each and every day with each and every breath that he or she takes. But we got every kind of nonsensical priority other than that.
Okay.
Yet we complain about our condition. And that is the reason we're in this condition, because we got every other kind of priority. Now, one of the main priorities among black people is what? Showing off.
Showing off.
Showing off to whom?
Yes, you mentioned
each
that.
other. Yes. If we tell the truth, that is our priority.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out a way to show off, even if showing off just means driving by and shooting at somebody.
Yeah,
That's showing off.
Okay.
What I've been saying. But, people have a tendency to, just, it's habit. That's what it is. You usually think the same way you've always thought. Even when somebody is telling you something different, you're really tuning it out and thinking the way you always thought, which is okay, because at some point you might choose to think differently or look at things a different way. I have been saying we are already a captured people. The war is still going on, by the way, because what is a war? It's nothing but conflict that continues. So as long as you have people resisting their captivity, the war is still going on. When people stop resisting, then that war is over. But the war between those who believe in racism and those who don't, so far, the victims of that war, the non-white people of this entire planet, have been prisoners of war. The white supremacists are not trying to capture black people. Black people are already captured and have been for generations. We are already prisoners of war. We are already in the prison called the entire planet, because the white supremacists dominate every non-white person on this planet 24 hours a day in every area of activity. So we're already prisoners of that war. And so therefore we just keep asking the warden not to do this and not to do that, Black Lives Matter and all like that. They're not walking around saying, we matter. Yes, they'll say it, in a joking fashion, but the white supremacists say we're the only people that matter. You people are nothing but prisoners. And I do what I want to with all of you, not some of you, all of you. It's none of you who are exempt from me, who are exempt from my captivity. So, but you try to break out the prison, you want to change the prison into some Garden of Eden or something like that, and you can attempt that, but I will continue to do what I do until I decide I'm not going to do it anymore. And that's the status where we are right now. That's the white supremacist voice talking. Look at what people like myself are doing, or anybody who's talking about racism or talking about producing justice, heaven forbid. They are against it, but they will permit you to talk about it as long as what? Since they are very logical, very smart, as long as you are not effective.
Okay.
Now, when people listen to Neely Fuller talk, they just say, oh, yeah, that brother, he's okay, and all like that. But in business as usual, they'll go right back doing the same things they've always done. Everybody does the same thing. We will continue what we call our traditional black culture, which is a failed culture, by the way. The evidence shows this. That's what black culture is. It's a failed culture. It hasn't solved our problems. We hadn't added any new dimensions to it. It's still the same basic culture that we have always had. The white supremacists do not look at the speaker when black people are speaking to other black people. The black people look at the reaction to the speaker. See, that's their pattern. That's their logic.
Yes, sir.
And it's the logic that makes sense. See what I mean? You don't care what somebody says as long as nobody's changing, as long as nobody's doing anything different, just going through that same routine, celebrating the same things and all like that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, looking forward to the same things. And so they just go out and take a look at what black people are doing out here slaughtering each other all over Southside Chicago. And they say, who cares about what Neely Fuller says or anybody else? Black people still act the same. They don't change.
They still want. How you figure that, man? Look around you, man. They own this shit. They own this couch you sitting on. Them shoes you got on your feet. This building. This school. This country. You. We're behind enemy lines, dawg. One beat down will never compare to 439 years of captivity. Never. You don't know shit. Fresh.
That's the royal category. The royal category based on color. You have all kinds of royalism, kings and queens and all like that. The system of white supremacy is a category based on color and non-color. And if you're in the color category, black, brown, red, yellow, beige, tan, etc., then you are eligible to be dominated and mistreated by people who classify themselves as the non-color white. And I kind of went in depth on that, but basically that's really what it's all about. It's just a form of mistreatment based on color. That's what white supremacy is. That's what I have in my book, and that's what I've been saying all down through the decades and whatnot. If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet in all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet. Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it, and came right out of the book, the material did, they say that they better understood it. And I can understand that because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.